Funding for this program is provided by Annenberg CPD to advance excellent teaching.
What will make you become saddened when listening to a song that may not necessarily be sad? Why do you become sick at the smell of scented Wendy? What makes you get nauseous when looking at Russian alcohol? These answers and more, this time on Discovering Psychology. Famous psychologist Ivan Pavlov discovered classical conditioning completely by accident. He was testing on salivation for his work on the digestive system. Pavlov and his men realized that the dogs would salivate before receiving the food. You see, before giving the dogs food, he would ring a bell. After a few trials, the dogs salivated after the bell rang, but before receiving the food. Pavlov changed his experiment and began testing on classical conditioning. Classical conditioning is a form of behavioral learning in which a previously neutral stimulus acquires the power to elicit the same innate reflex produced by another stimulus. Another prime example of classical conditioning was baby Albert, by Professor John B. Watson and his assistant Elizabeth Rayner. It started out innocently enough. Watson and Rayner gave baby Albert a white pet rat. They wanted to classically condition Albert to fear his new pet. Albert quickly learned that every time he touched his furry friend, Watson would stand behind the baby Albert and strike a bar with a hammer. This would create a loud, unpleasant noise, and once Albert heard it, his face would contort with fear and he would begin to cry. Watson and Rayner were not done there. They wanted to test the extent of his fear. They put a white rabbit in the room with him, and he shrieked and backed away from the animal. They also tossed a small section of white fur, and Albert cried and crawled into the corner. Lastly, Watson put on a Santa Claus mask and came towards baby Albert. Seeing the white beard, Albert shrieked and hid his face. Baby Albert is the perfect example of generalization. Generalization is the tendency to respond to a stimulus that is similar to a conditioned stimulus. Okay. We are going to conduct a classical conditioning experiment of our own. Our unconditioned stimulus is the gavel from Law & Order. We will play this down and shoot our subject with this marshmallow gun immediately after. If it all goes as planned, our subject will eventually flinch when just hearing the Law & Order sound without being shot at all.
Okay. Go.
Hi, I'm Susan Knesny, and I'm 39 years old.
My name is Joseph Duffin. I'm 17. Seriously?
Yeah.
I wanted to be him.
You gotta hit it.
I don't want to make a call.
Years old.
My name is Brian. I'm 4 years old. No!
My name is Dr. Ramachandran. The reason that Anna O'Brien ran away from the gun before we shot her was because she witnessed us shooting her mother with the marshmallow gun after playing a Law and Order. She learned she was classically conditioned before we even got her.
Funding for this program is provided by Annenberg CPD to advance excellent teaching. For information about this and other Annenberg CPB programs, call 1-800-LEARNER and visit us at www.learner.org. To learn more about the Annenberg CPB Channel series and workshops for teachers, how to take them for credit, how to buy them on video cassette, call 1-800-LEARNER and visit us at www.learner.org/channel. The Annenberg CPB Channel.